Mhm. You got the sheet? You got.
Yeah.
They're all on minus, which suggest. Oh, what's going on? Can you clear all the stuff if they've got skipped ahead? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can see if they've done it because they'll either have points or they'll have. There's four people have skipped ahead. They'll either have points or it'll say under pick a section. It won't say practice section. And I think with Google Sheets, you can highlight bulk of stuff. You'll flood in.
Oh yeah.
Bam. Not anymore. Uh, we the hair is just ridiculous. Uh, right, for them. Do not disturb. Phone. Back and go to these phases. Yeah.
We'll let the lights.
Let's just have either a knee surgery. I wonder if there's a more systemic problem as well at the root of it, some sort of inflammatory condition or maybe I speculate it's been going on so long that it may not be just. Hopefully, it is just like an injury. I'm concerned. Perhaps it's something a bit. Yeah, we'll find out anyway. Okay. I'm gonna get Spotify up and then we're gonna let him in. Yes. Just be aware, it's got to be like even. Yeah. We'll find out when I pop out, but. Okay, let him in.
Was that looking at some magician thinking this doesn't feel right?
I think Chris has just reposted a cocktail link in the chat now. It might be worth trying that.
Hello. We're all sitting in the main room trying to get in.
I'm in.
Oh, we see a dog.
It's a puppy.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, we saw your contestant video, Joe, which it was absolutely adorable.
How do you end up seeing those videos?
What do you mean? They're submitted to us as contestant videos. How else would your game show host introduce the contestants?
Oh yes, lovely.
Are you the organised host, the organizer for your end, Joe, or is it someone?
Harriet mostly, but I've chipped in.
Okay, and Harriet's not on the call yet. Is she joining this part?
I don't know that she's in this group actually.
Okay, great. So, Joe, we've been told that we're expecting around 30.
Yes,
is that
that is
correct?
But I think we can probably crack on, and if people are late, they're late, because I'm guessing some people might have just not turned up.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
So,
they're not here.
okay, well, we'll do random teams, which we've been told we're doing. Andrew, I just want to say that's a pretty stellar background. I'm enjoying that very much. We'll do random teams, and then anyone who joins, And Martin, is that Game of Thrones or Doctor Who? I can't tell which one I'm looking at.
It was just a random one I found.
Okay, it's a bit of a cross between the two. I'll pop up from behind my screen. Hang on, I'm just chatting behind a spinning wheel. There we go. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So as I said, we'll put everyone into randomized teams, and then if anyone does join late, then the breakout room that they end up in can just bring them up to speed. That's what we would suggest. So I'm just going to do a bit of a script. That I always do to make sure that everyone is set up correctly and good to play. And then we will be getting you into your breakout rooms and we'll start the game. So, first things first, we've got Evan's support on the call this evening. So, if you're having there he is. If there are any problems throughout the game, or if you just need some extra support or anything like that, you can call Evan into your breakout room and he will help you there and then. So a couple of things that we suggest. One of them is in the welcoming email, we asked people to bring headphones. I can see Andrew's got a fantastic overhead noise cancelling pair on there. The reason for that is that, as you're probably aware, sound coming out of your laptop or sound coming from the background can go into your laptop and cause a feedback loop. So it's just worth having headphones if you've got them. If you don't have headphones, we would suggest keeping your microphone on mute unless you're speaking. Some people with the most recent version of Zoom might have noise cancellation features, but they're not always that effective. So we would just suggest having headphones if you've got them. And the other thing that we ask people to do is bring a pen and paper. That will not only benefit you in working out some of your answers. Andrew, I mean, you've ticked all the boxes, no problem. Joe, look at the dog ate it. The dog ate it. So a pen and paper is not super important. It's just in case something like your internet crashes or your computer catches on fire. A pen and paper is always a good backup. It's just the best practice, and it might help you in working out some of the answers as well. So there we go. Now we're going to explain sort of the format. So first things first, you're all on Zoom. That's a good start. So this is where you're going to be in your breakout rooms. You're going to be in teams, and you're going to be in breakout rooms. Evan will tell me in my ear in a moment what the team sizes are going to be. And then you're probably aware when you go into a breakout room, you lose the host's video. So this will be broadcast on YouTube. That's where my video is going to be throughout the time that you're in your breakout rooms. So you should have had a YouTube link in the welcoming email as well. I'm currently there. I'm just going to In order for us to calculate your points in real time, you will need to submit your form at the end of each round. This will bring you to an Edit Your Response page. Click on Edit Your Response, and then under the Pick a Round menu, select the round that we're playing. For example, here is the History round, and you can see all of the answer fields for you to fill in as you're playing along. Once you've filled those in, click Submit, Edit Your Response, and then head on over to the next round of gameplay. Again, here we've picked the Serial Killer round, click Next. All of the answer fields are there, and once you're finished, click Submit and then edit your response once again. I'm now unmuted on YouTube. Now here's the first song. It's not long. It's only 2.5 minutes. You get your team names in on this one, you're going to get an extra point. So there we go. There's the incentive.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a
Come on, who's going to get that first bonus point? Who's going to get it? I forgot to mention, there's also a point. There's also a point for my favourite team name. Right. As promised. So if you get your team name in the next few seconds, you get a bonus point. Here comes Duran Duran. Don't know if there's any. We really need to change up the song. We've played this over about 84 times now, but here we go. Where is it? I've lost it on the soundboard. I absolutely cannot see it for the life of me. Which makes me think I might have to pick another song, but then people would be like, where's Duran Duran? This is why we signed up for the evening, to listen to Duran Duran. There we go. I can't believe it's right in front of me. There we are. Well, the winners did manage to get it in before I started the song. So, primarily because I couldn't find the song. But, okay. Is that how you say Duran? That's how you spell Duran? I'll keep going on about it if I should know. Durian. Beating the durian. I think durians are the really sort of smelly fruit, aren't they? Interesting team name. I don't know if there's a pun. Duran Duran. We'll find out. Find out later. Just waiting on Breakout Room 3. Well done, Breakout Room 1 and 2. You both got yourself a bonus point. Oh, we're all set up and ready to go then. Here we are. Right. Don't need to listen to the whole of Duran Duran. It's even Stevens then. I've got to give one of the teams my favourite team name for a bonus point. We'll do that in a minute. I think now we should crack on with the show. BJSS on the game show this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a massive round of applause. There we go. They've got a big audience there tuning in. Oh, yes. Oh, dear. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it doesn't get old. Oh, it doesn't get old. We're into the 80s now for these. And it still puts a smile on my face. It didn't so much when we were doing 5 back-to-back on the same day. But now there's only a few a week. Good stuff. Right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Bucket Races, a journey through the history of game shows. A 90-minute interactive, immersive, bespoke, virtual game showing experience where you're going to be going head-to-head in a series of game show mock-ups that take you from the 1930s to the modern day. All with the intent of earning the most points and being crowned Bucket Races, a journey through the history of game shows champion. So, we need to take a little look at who we've got on the game show this evening. We've got the winners, which means we're expecting big things, and we've got beating the Juryen. So they are my favourite team name. I'm looking forward to understanding exactly what that means. From my understanding, Juryen is a very, very smelly fruit. So we'll get some clarity around that later on. But for now, just for the mystics of the situation, you've got yourselves a bonus point. So we've got the team names. I think we should take a little look at a random selection of some of today's contestants.
Hi, I'm Lorraine and I've worked at BJSS for 6 years. I live in Ullskelf, North Yorkshire, and I have 2 teenage sons, Joseph and Lawrence.
Hi, I'm Jo Fordham, and that is Puppy Pika chewing my hair.
Oh, look at him!
Hi, I'm Gemma Buckley, and doing this at the last minute because I only just got signed up. Good to meet you all.
There we go.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I used to know an awful lot of rubbish. This may or may not help me.
Hello, I'm Tim, and little known facts about me. I was once caught on Italian TV skiing, and I once had coffee with Esther Ranson where I advised her about exposing some financiers from the Middle East.
There we go. Exciting stuff.
Hi, I'm Sean.
And I'm Alice.
We're not very good at being spontaneous when put on the spot.
That'll do, though.
Hi,
that was good.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Josh.
Hi, my name's Jim Moss. I'm a delivery manager. I live just east of Hull, and my favourite sport is triathlon.
Good stuff.
I've been working at BJSS for just over 7 years now, and I'm really looking forward to taking part in tonight's fun.
Hello, Martin Huckle reporting for duty. Keeping warm in the garage while I give you this message. I'm something like 50, I'm something like 6 years at BJSS, and I'm something like a Tesla. Thank you very much indeed.
There we go. What a costume that was. Keeping himself super warm there. Good stuff. So there we go. I need to pick the gentleman's brains about the triathlon. I've no idea what I'm doing, but I'm meant to be doing one next year. COVID permit. Right, so we've seen the contestants, we've got the team names. Now we've got to take a look at the studio, and there we are. We're going to be starting our journey. There's the whole scene. We're going to be starting our journey in the 1930s when the first broadcast came out of the BBC. That was 1936. Then in 1938, the first ever game show appeared. So it wasn't long. It only took a couple of years. The first game show was called Spelling Bee, and its format was simple. Teams of established organisations would go head-to-head at spelling the most correct words. It was hosted by a gentleman called Freddie Greasewood, and he was dressed in a schoolmaster's garb. Spelling Bee was the only game show of the 1930s, so let's go ahead and play a round of Spelling Bee!
For the second time, the battle is on, and Pathé Gazette is privileged to present exclusive pictures inside Broadcasting House, with spelling master Tom Woodruff at the table on the right. The British spellers you will see at the microphone are first actress Fabia Drake, second Secretary Margaret Baines, and third schoolboy J.E. Killick.
Hello, and welcome to Spelling Bee. The rules are simple. Spell the words correctly, and you'll get yourself the points. I will read 2 words to you in total. You will have around 20 seconds to work out each of their spelling. I shall now read to you your first word. Your first word is verdancy. That's verdancy. I shall now use it in a sentence. I was surprised when I visited Scotland by the almost rainforest-like verdancy of the gardens. Verdancy. Your second word is nudisturgeon. That's nudisturgeon. I shall now use it in a sentence. I ordered the toilet paper from Amazon that nudisturgeon morning. And I was surprised when it arrived so quickly, as I was not expecting it to arrive until the following week. Nudisturgeon. And that's it for Spelling Bee. Thank you and good night. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it works. Round 1 check. So please submit your answers, edit your response, and then head on over to the next round of gameplay, which you'll see is a game show from the 1950s. Now that's because in the 1940s, television production shut down. We were in the throes of the Second World War. When television production did return, one game show made it to air for about 3 months. It was called Play the Game, and it was essentially a televised version of charades. We played something similar on our Christmas quiz, but I'm afraid in this evening's game show, we skip on to the 1950s, and that's when Britain began to go game showing mad. The first game show whose name still means anything to anyone is What's My Line? That ran from the 50s up until the mid-90s, so a few of you may have caught the tail end of that one. Then other game shows were popping up left, right and centre. We got a variety of game shows, and one of notoriety was the first ever music-themed game show.
Name That Tune, brought to you by Amazing Liquid Free Zone that removes corns and calluses, relieves pain fast. And now Free Zone presents Name That Tune. Yes, it's Name That Tune with Harry Salter's Orchestra and starring George DeWitt.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Name That Tune. It's better than normal. I'll tell you what, this bit needs to go. This is meant to be my Elvis wig. It looks a little bit like I'm slowly being possessed by Cher. Or perhaps if you're a football fan, it looks like Kevin Keegan's had one too many over Christmas. Anyway, welcome to Name That Tune. We're going to play you a song for the 1970s, 80s, 90s and noughties. All you've got to do is try and name that tune. As you'll see, they are multiple choice, but there are a few curveballs in there. And then we'll be revealing what all of the answers are once you have submitted your answers to us. So here we go, an absolute banger now from the 1970s, but can you name that tune? Yes, there we go. Now we've got one for the 1980s. If you use things like YouTube tutorials to try and learn new skills or fix household appliances or whatever it may be, you were probably caught out by this number over the past 10 years. It's been an ongoing meme. It's an absolute cracker. Can you name that tune? There we go. Now we've got one for the 1990s. I actually saw these guys in concert twice. The first time was during 1996. It was the Euros. I was very excited. And then the second time, my mum decided that she thought I'd probably still enjoy seeing them again. I was 14. I'm not sure I had the same mentality or mindset as she did. However, I'm very grateful looking back on it. They were absolutely fantastic. They're now pretty much considered British icons. I got to see all 5 of them twice. Here is their first ever single. Can you name that tune? There we go. What an awesome song that is. And now we've got one for the noughties. He's a singer-songwriter. He is a producer. He's been in his own films. He's done it all. Here's an absolute number from the noughties. Can you name that tune?
Look, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, did you capture it? Just let it slip. Yo, his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous.
Okay, there we go, guys. So well done beating the jury, and you got 4 out of 4. It's one of those rounds where people typically do quite well. Things will get a bit more difficult as we ramp up. Normally the first song is the one that catches people out. We're still waiting on the winners' answers. They must be hot in conversation, conferring. Once we have the winners, they're in as well. We don't need to go back and reveal the answers because you know what they were. Both teams getting 4 out of 4. Right, here we go. So, good stuff, good stuff. We are now going to head on over to another game show from the 1950s. This is the first game show that delved into the world of physical challenges.
People are funny. And sorry,
Yes, hello. Welcome to People Are Funny. This was the game show that invited contestants from the audience up onto the stage to perform their best party tricks in order to win prizes. Now, before this experience began, a handful of you sent in your party tricks, and the judges here at Bucket Race have been busy creating a compilation of their favourite clips and awarding the top 3, well, in fact, in this case, the top 4. We've given away 2 third places, points. So, if you find that your team are in first place, now, because there's only 2 teams, there's going to be a few people picking up points in different places here. But if you're in first place, you've earned your team 3 points, second place 2 points, third place 1 point. So there we go. This evening, there's a total of 7 points up for grabs. We've got 2 third places. Please call Evan into your breakout room, which I'm guessing both teams will be doing, unless everyone has ended up in one team. It could happen. To let him know which team you're in, so he can assign you the correct points. There we go. We're going to take a little look at the compilation now. Well done, guys. Thank you for embracing the spirit of game shows. Some very, very good stuff. And I will say, as you'll see, a dog video always wins me over.
Who above the age of 18 has a funny party trick? I'm just going to have to take the hit on this one.
I don't have a party trick, so this morning I've been trying to learn to hula hoop, and I thought I'd show you how I failed.
Well, thank you very much for giving it a go, though. I nearly gave it points just for the effort. There we go.
I can make my ears wiggle.
So our party trick would be, well, we don't really have any, apart from juggling a busy project, a house move, toddler and a baby on the way.
Yeah, fair play. But here we go. Here's third place. I was quite impressed by that. Like, she's really nailed that. He's waving. Oh, there we go. How to kick your own head. Let's get to round of applause. That nearly got first place. But what I'm interested. I'm hoping this is one of the team members and not just the filming of a performance. I hope this is actually you being a bumblebee. I haven't got a clue what's going on here, Evan, but it's very entertaining.
Oh, beehive! Oh, lovely.
There we go. Very, very good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very good stuff. Just give me a round of applause. So, remember, call Evan into your breakout room. Let him know which clips were yours, and you've earned your team the points. So, that is it for the 1950s. We're heading back to the studio now. And we're going to go ahead into the 1960s. And there was the launch of a second channel. That was, of course, BBC Two. But it did little to alter the outlook for game shows, as BBC Two had been designed for more serious programming. It wasn't until 1967 that things ramped up. It was first, it's brilliant if you haven't seen it, get it up on YouTube. It's called It's a Knockout. Teams would dress up in ludicrously large costumes that would be 10 feet tall, and they'd do these outrageous outdoor obstacle courses where they would have egg and spoon races, gunge, bungee runs, turntables, you name it. Pure chaos. It's absolutely brilliant. And then at the end of the 60s, the first ever sporting themed game show came onto our screens. Good evening and welcome to Questions of Sport. Now, the original version of this game show has set some records. It's the only game show in the UK that has been on air from its beginnings and never taken a break. All other game shows that have started longer than a decade ago have either been taken off air or reprised, or none of them have been running continuously for such a long time. And it's only ever had, until recently, 3 presenters. Sue Barker is moving on to a new project, so it will be 4. But it's unique in that way. So don't worry if you're not a sports buff. We're not going to be asking you to stretch your cranial muscles on sports trivia. No. You're in fact going to be placing your bets on our genuinely live, randomised, magnetised electronic horse racing game. You'll see what we mean. This is in our studio, all set up with the floodlights. They're under the floodlights this evening. If you manage to get first place correct, you're going to gain your team 3 points, second place 2 points, third place 1 point. There are no points for fourth place, no points for each way. So there we go. Get ready for some horse puns. We had to actually get this in an auction and then get a man from Eastern Europe who specialises in fixing these games to fix it. There's not many left in the world, apparently. So best of luck. Saddle up as we take a trip on down to the Derby. In lane 1, it's main event. In lane 2, it's maybe it's Maybelline. In lane 3, we've got naked. And then lane 4, it's financially stable. Saddle up, place your bets. I can hear the hoofs clicking and clacking. They're in the starting line now. That's me. It's not there, Evan. moment, we're going to be starting the race again. We had a technical issue patching in to the live to the horse racing, so we're going to take them round for another lap. Here we go. So there they are. They're going to be heading off any second now. The starting gates will open, and it's a 2-lap race. And they're off! There we go. What a blinding start there for Financially Stable. Looks like he's out in front. Main event, and maybe it's Neighbourly not far behind, but Financially Stable's having an but I think Main Event's taking him on the inside corner there. Remember, it's a 2-lap race. It's going to be very close between Main Event and Financially Stable. Anything can still happen. Here we go. He's going to be neck and neck, but Main Event is taking it, followed by Financially Stable, followed by maybe it's Neighbourly. So there we go. Oh, exciting stuff. So well done. If you bet on Main Event, you have just earned your team 3 points. If you bet on Financially Stable, you've earned your team 2 points. And if you bet on maybe it's Neighbourly, you have earned your team 1 point. I'm afraid no points for Naked. And I can see now the scores are in. The winners did in fact go for Main Event. 3 out of 3. And beating the Duran went for Naked. 0 out of 3. So there we are. The winners have taken it by storm. That will be affecting the scores. Beating the Durian were out in front before this round. We'll take a look at the scores a little later on. But for now, we're heading back into the studio. We're going on to the 1970s. And in the 1970s, the landscape was probably best characterised in 2 words. Benny Hill. This politically incorrect comedian and countless others were having their fun over on ITV. In rebuttal, the BBC decided to create a new type of alternative programming for proper, upstanding middle-class families, apparently, in the form of Ask the Family and this other absolute classic.
Life is the name of the game, and I want to play the game with you. Life can be terribly tame if you don't play the game with 2. And I want to play the game with you.
So, it's nice to see you. Okay, good. Hopefully a few people shouting that out at their computer screens there. Welcome to Bucket Race's Generational Game. The original version of this saw people get into teams of 2, and those teams would always be a generation apart, hence the name The Generation Game. They would go head-to-head in a series of tasks and challenges, and the ultimate winners would end up trying to win prizes on the conveyor belt game. And that's exactly what you're going to be doing this evening. In just a moment, 15 items are going to pass by the screen. You are going to the opportunity to memorise as many items as you can and then write them down on your answer form. Please don't write any down until they've all finished passing. A minute countdown timer will appear, and if you get your submissions in within the minute, you're going to earn yourself an extra 2 bonus points. If you don't get your submissions in within 30 seconds after the time, you'll get no points. So it's better to submit something than nothing. Now, we're not in a rush. We just do that to keep it fair, because if one team has way more time than the other, it's just not fair. So there we go. If you get it in within the minute, you're going to get 2 bonus points. You are more likely to get the points if you spell it correctly. If it's completely way off, the computer won't pick it up and you won't get any points. So there you go. And try not to leave a space at the end, because the computer doesn't like that. So no spaces at the end, please. 1 item per box. Let's take a look now. 15 items in total. Now these are all items that originally we did this manually. So we actually own all of these. Now they've been photoshopped and put into a motion video. Polaroid camera, the moon. We don't own the moon. I think Elon Musk does, but we've got a lamp version. Cuddly toy. That is a cuddly toy, not a teddy bear. We've got a robot money box, a PlayStation 1, a lava lamp, a baby Groot, R1 dancers, he's in like a flower pot, dollar bill loo roll, Mario Kart 64, a crystal maze ball. I will say their one in London is very good. Adult Heelys, a coffee terrarium, a snow machine, a bucket race trophy. You can get one of those after the game if you like. Got lots in stock because we haven't been allowed outside for months. And then a pipe. So there we go. There's all 15. You have 1 minute now. Best of luck. If you submit them within the minute, you're going to get 2 bonus points. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's see if anyone gets them in on time. Now, there's about a 7-second delay on the broadcast, so I have to count backwards in my mind. I don't know why I have to count backwards. Forwards is fine. Yes, the winners. You have got bonus points there. Beating the Durian, I believe, must be going. Oh no, they're in as well. They're in as well. Both teams are in. Well done. So Evan's going to do a bit of manual cleanup, but the winners, I will say, you've done very, very well. Lots of correct spellings, which you've done fantastically. I wonder what you missed. You've only missed 2, and you haven't spelled anything wrong, which is. You're getting a round of applause for that. I think that's potentially I think it might be a second. I think we've had that once before. Out of a good few hundred teams now. So well done. Right, let's go back and have a look at the answers and see what you might have missed. So there's a psychological effect where people normally remember the first few items and the last few items. So Polaroid camera, the moon, most teams getting those. Cuddly toy, so that's a cuddly toy. It's not a teddy bear. Robot money box, PlayStation 1. A lava lamp, baby Groot. Is that what you missed? Dollar bill loo roll. Mario Kart 64. Oh, you got that. Crystal maze ball. Adult Heelys. Coffee terrarium, a snow machine, bucket race trophy, and a pipe. So there we go. I think you missed the bucket race trophy, the winners. What are you doing? I don't know about that. Very well done though. That is a top score. Excellent stuff. So we're sticking around. I've just had it in the ear that Martin, that was you buzzing around as a bumblebee. Very good. I didn't know if it was an external entertainer that maybe you hired, but apparently you were in person doing that. So fantastic stuff. Thank you so much for sending that in. So we're sticking around in the 70s for one more game show. In the 70s, the economy was in free fall, and it gave a lot of comedians opening ammunition for their comedic routines. It became a bit of a trend to have a comedic host in the 1970s, and another trend that emerged was this concept of celebrity guests. So Celebrity Squares was an American television show that very much capitalised on this idea. In the UK, we created this next one. It was the 3rd most watched programme this year on Christmas Day. I think that you'll agree that in terms of celebrity panellists and comedic hosts, no game show in history portrays it better than this one. Yes, welcome to Blanket Tea Blank. Now, it's a Wednesday, so maybe you've opted for a cup of tea. It's 8:30 in the evening, so perhaps a chamomile or a lavender tea, something like that. You've got your blanket, you're wrapped up safe at home, and you're ready to fill in the blanks. The original version of this game show saw contestants try and match the blanks on fill-in-the-blank statements with celebrity panelists. Now, we don't have any celebrities in the studio today, but we do have the answers that they gave in the 1970s. So all you need to do is try and match your answers with the answers they gave back then. Because it's the 1970s, we need to get in the mood. So we've got a few tunes for you, and we've got some shades. I've got a peace symbol around here as well somewhere, which I'll bring out in a minute. Now, the first statement is this. Delilah cut off Samson's hair to sap his strength, but I just heard that first she cut off his blank to slow him down. So what do you reckon it is? Legs, moustache, beard, or rations? There we go. Peace symbol has arrived. Now for the second question, there are no multiple choice. You've just got to fill it in. James Bond was so drunk he couldn't even blank straight. So what do you reckon James Bond couldn't blank straight? And finally, we asked our 1970s studio audience which of these phrases was the most popular. Mind your own business, mind your step, or mind your language. So there you go. We've got about another 45 seconds to get those answers in. Good, best of luck. Okay, get the answers in, guys. Get the answers in. This song likes to repeat itself. And then we'll go back and we'll reveal what the answers are. Now, this is a first. You can both go have a break if you want, because you've both got 3 out of 3, which never happens. That never happens. So let's now, the next song is a bit Magnum PI, if you ask me. So we'll go through this very quickly, because you all know what the answers are. So, Delilah cut off Samson's hair to sap his strength, but I just heard that first she cut off his legs to slow him down. James Bond was so drunk he couldn't even shoot straight. Finally, mind your language was the most popular phrase from the 1970s. So well done to both teams there. Well, I'll tell you what, that gives us a bit of extra time. We don't normally fly through that as quickly. So we'll do a bit of a roundup of the scores. And currently, there's not a lot in it, as you'd expect. I'll give you the exact scores when I find my mouse key. There we go. So, Evan, have you done the horses? Just checking. They're all up to date. Good stuff. Well, actually, there is a bit in it. The winners are currently taking the lead. Now, beating the Jurian were out in front, but the winners are taking the lead now. I think that generation game has certainly pushed them out in front a little bit. So the winners, living up to their name, they're currently on 31 points, which is a very, very, very good score. Now, beating the Jurian are on 23, but I assure you, all of that can change. There is a lot to play for. So, we're going to move on to the 1980s now. And in this era, computers were making their ways into homes and television production across the nation. Examples of electronic gimmickry were found with game shows like The Krypton Factor, which was brilliant. We actually have a version of that on we have another version of the Game Show Night, completely different set of game shows. And the other game show was something called the Adventure Game, which saw teams battle on the planet Zorg to cross a plane of interstellar space by answering questions correctly. In reaction to all of the electronic gimmickry, an anti-digital theme started to come into game shows. Mastermind were one of the first game shows to do that. And followed closely behind was a game show that launched the omnipresent Carol Vorderman's career and the newly created Channel 4 into being. Of course, it has to be Final Countdown! Yes, it's Final Countdown. It's our version. Now, it's a little bit different to the original game show. First of all, your host is in a fish tank wearing ski goggles. There's a backstory. Originally, I was wearing normal goggles, but if you wear normal goggles back to back 5 times a day, it feels like your face is going to fall off. So I upgraded to a comfy pair of ski goggles, and the fish tank is a bit 8 out of 10 cats does count down, and it's also me getting bored of animating myself into televisions, so I went with the fish tank instead. So there we go. In this round, we would like you to spell an 8-letter, 7-letter, 6-letter, and 5-letter word. So please fill in only 1 word per box. Please make sure that it is the right length letter in each box. Now, obviously, you have to use the letters on the screen to spell those words. You will get 5 points for an 8-letter word, 4 points for a 7-letter, 3 points for a 6-letter, 2 points for a 5-letter word. There are no points for 4-letter words as they're too easy. You've got 30 seconds to try and do all of those, and your time starts now. There we go. You may have noticed that is not the original music. Our creative director actually happens to be Ollie Mers's saxophonist. So he does all of the royalty-free music for us, which is why you'll notice most of the music that is royalty-free and created by us has saxophone in it. Right, there we go. We're now going to be moving on to the famous There we go, the famous Final Countdown conundrum. It's an anagram. We would like you to rearrange the letters to make another 9-letter word. Please make sure you use all of the letters, but only use the letters on the screen once. So it's another 9-letter word. You have 30 seconds. Your time starts now. Winners, are you using Google? Because you've just got yourself a full marks again. This is outrageous. Ooh. So we'll give the winners a massive round of applause there. They're not letting their foot off the pedal. Although I'll tell you what, beating the jury in it has also got 12 out of 12. I feel like this game show is too easy for this particular organisation. Things do get more difficult, I say that. You're doing very, very well, guys, so well done. We will now reveal the answers that you could have had for 8-letter words. So for 8-letter words, you could have had dribbles, which is what both teams got, and you also could have had dibblers. Dibblers is the other one. Apparently that is a word. And then for 7 letters, you could have had bridles or dribble, of course. And you, among other combinations, you could have had birdies, bridles, ribbies, apparently. Maybe that's something that frogs do. I don't know. And there are lots of 6 and 5 letter combinations. And then for the anagram, anyone who knows anything about Bucket Race knows that we didn't start as a virtual events company, although that's what we've become. We actually started with outdoor entertainment and outdoor events, which hopefully we'll be going back to. We'll be doing a hybrid between virtual and physical at the same time. But we started with these scavenger hunts with a twist. So both teams there getting scavenged correct. Very, very well done. So we're heading back to the studio. Obviously, the scores are still very similar after that round. Things will change, though, as in our next round, there's a bit of audience participation. Now, America had struggled to sell any of their games into the UK from the 1950s on until the mid-80s. They did manage to break back into the UK markets with their staple show. So there we go. Welcome to Reel of Fortune. Now, this is the game show where we ask you to, first of all, try and solve the word wall. So, in order to do that, you need to give us the correct answer and also give us the funny alternative that a gentleman gave in front of millions of people in the 1980s. So, I'll give you a bit of a clue about the funny alternative. They got the second part correct. They just got the first part incorrect. So, that you're looking, if you get one of the words, you'll get 1 point, and if you get both of them, you'll get 2. So we're looking for the real answer and the funny alternative. You have 1 minute, and your time starts now. Okay, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. So, no need to submit anything yet. As I mentioned, I'm going to be heading on into one of the breakout rooms. So, if I do come into your breakout room, please, can you mute YouTube or you're going to hear me twice. So, if I come into your breakout room, just make sure that you mute the YouTube video. Now, if I don't come into your breakout room, don't worry. Because you're still in the game. You're going to be trying to guess the colour that they land on. And now, the breakout room that I go into, there's a little bit more up for grabs for you guys, as you will see. You could lose points, but you could gain points. So there's all to play for. All to play for. I'll be in just a minute. It just takes a little bit of time for me to get into the breakout room. So bear with me. Just make sure that you mute the YouTube if I do end up in your breakout room. Okay, on my way in now. On my way in now. Zoom doing lots of... And I'm in! I'm in! I see Jim giving us a cheer. We've got the infamous Andrew there with his fantastic party tricks. And Tim giving us a wave. So, guys, I will let you know that you're... And Lorraine gave us a very quick sort of, hi, how you doing? You're on the... audio feed. No one can see you, but the other team can hear you. Do you have any words of competitiveness or encouragement or anything like that for them?
You cheaters.
Do you think they're using Google? They've got a very high score. I'll tell you what, guys, you've caught them up a little bit though. Or maybe I'm just imagining that. Maybe it must be on the last bit. So there we go. Right, guys, you're going to have the opportunity now to have a go. We're going to expose you to the reel, and you're going to have a go at spinning our reel. So this could change everything, but things could get worse. I have to be honest. I have to manage your expectations. But here we go. Let's expose you to the reel. Now, I'll give you a bit of a word of warning. Evan, who's going to be spinning the reel for you this evening, is also a personal trainer. He does all of this crazy calisthenic stuff. He can walk down the stairs on his hands. And once he spun the wheel so hard, it took off into outer space and we had to restart the broadcast. So there's the parental advisory. I'll talk you through the reel. You can see there that things can go sideways. You can actually lose a point. If you pass, I'll be going into the other breakout room. Now, here's where things get interesting. You can gain a point, you can gain 2 points, you can gain 3 points. You can also gain 2 points and have the opportunity to spin again. You only get 1 extra spin, but you might get to spin again. Or you could steal 2 points from the other team and add it to your score. Tim giving us a nod there, like, yeah, we'll have a bit of that, that'll do. Yeah, brilliant. So, as a group, ladies and gentlemen, you need to decide if you'd like us to spin the reel slow, medium, or fast.
Fast.
So, I was waiting for someone to unmute. Tim was giving us a quick finger, to be like, and I think that meant fast, and then Andrew and Jim chimed in. So there we go. They've gone against the parental advisory. They're going for fast, Evan. So give it what you've got. Give it some welly, Evan. There we go. Right, can all go grab a drink because this can take about 5 minutes. So. Okay, it's slowing down a bit. It's slowing down a bit. Here we go. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Oh, keep going. Oh, Evan. Sean, there was no emotion from Sean until that moment. I'm afraid you've landed. Now, I know that says loose. My girlfriend, who always picks me up on spelling, for the one time in her life spelt something wrong. She's very much a grammar police, and she wrote loose for some reason. But that's her fantastic word. I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, you've lost a point. So... Best of luck. As I said, you'll be surprised how much it can still change at this point. You are fantastic contestants. There we go. I'm going to be heading back to the main room. I imagine the winners are basking in the glory of that result. They're probably very happy with that. Actually, guys, explain your team name for me quickly before I go. What's that all about?
It started off notionally as Beat the Duranis, and then somebody morphed it into a pun.
Okay, I like it.
So Durin free.
Yeah, well, you got yourself an extra point for that one. It's good stuff. Okay. Like it very much. Right, thank you. I'm heading back to the main room now. And we're going to go back to the original environment for Reel of Fortune. So anyone, can everyone please submit their answers now for the original bit?
Okay.
There we go. Let's take a look at the word ball, ladies and gentlemen. The answers are coming in now. Now, as I said, you would have got a 1 point for either of these bits that you got correct. Now, the original answer is I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash. I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash. Both teams getting that correct. And then, look, I'm sorry, the winners. I don't know if they do. I don't know how they're doing it, but they've got both points there. I Have the Wine by Johnny Cash. How have you got that right? I'm sat here with my arms folded. Like, have they got the answers from you, Evan? Are they paying you? Are you on the payroll? I don't know what's going on. The extra points for the winners there. They're still, yeah, you could get, I'll tell you what, the high score for the season is 74 and you're on 46. You've already got over the average score. The average score is 44. Beating the jury and you're on 36. So you're nearly there. But the winners, you're doing exceptionally well. Here we go. Right, all to play for. We're heading back to the studio and we're going on to the 1990s now. And what an era. This is my favourite era, not just for game shows, in life in general, and you'll see why. So the economy was doing quite well in the 90s, and it meant that there was more budget for game shows. The broadcasting channels were investing in bigger sets and wacky ideas. We got things like Noel's House Party. See Mr. Blobby there. I mean, whoever came up with Mr. Blobby is an absolute genius, if you ask me. We also had things like Don't Forget Your Toothbrush. And Chris Evans took the whole studio audience on holiday after one of the game shows. And we had Gladiators. That's the travelator there that all the items are sitting on. So these ridiculously large sets and these brilliant concepts. Some of the first game shows to capitalise on the new access to funding were actually built for children. They had slogans like "There are no parents around to stop you." So, if you're my sort of era, which I'm 33 now, so anyone born between the 80s and 90s, you probably wanted to be on these game shows as you were growing up. If not, hopefully you're familiar with them, or you will be after this evening, because you're going to have a chance to play in them yourselves. Let's check out this first one from the 1990s. There we go. I'm afraid Neil couldn't make it this evening. He's too busy denying that he's Banksy. I don't know if you saw that in last year. He had to come out and publicly deny being Banksy. For anyone who doesn't know who Neil Buchanan is, he's the gentleman who used to run Art Attack. Anyway, he used to have hair like this. I've stolen it from him. That's why he's not here. He's embarrassed. And this is Losers Weepers anyway. It's our version. The original version, called Finders Keepers, took part inside a huge house without a front-facing wall. Children would have to work out a riddle, and then they would rummage around the room trying to find the answer to that riddle hidden somewhere within the room. So, this evening you're going to be doing something a little bit similar. We're going to give you a riddle, and then you've got to go find that item from within your own home, and you must bring it back to your Zoom call. You can't leave it where it is. That won't count. Now, anyone in the team can give this a go. You can take a photo of the Zoom call, or you can take a selfie. The reason we ask for the team name is if you're not the one already submitting the answers and you're doing the task, you can take the selfie and upload your team name, and we know who to assign the points to. Or just take a photo of the Zoom call. That's what most people do. So there we go. Best of luck. Everyone can give this a go. You're going to have 20 seconds once we've revealed the riddle, so you haven't got long. So hopefully you've got your running shoes on. The riddle is this. I'll give you a hug, but please don't hog, because I'll make you sweat if you get the wrong tog. There we go. 20 seconds. Off you go. Okay, so now we know it takes a little while for these to upload, so we're going to head on over now to our next game show from the 1990s. I need to make the most out of this wig anyway, so as you'll see, it's another one, it's another children's show. Check it out.
It's wacky, it's fun, it's crazy, it's outrageous. Funhouse, a whole lot of fun, prizes to be won. It's a real crazy show where anything will go. Funhouse, quiz is a race, real wacky place. Use your body and your brain if you want to play the game.
It's time for Funhouse. Wacky contestants, messy games, the Fun Kart Grand Prix race, and a crazy chase to win lots of prizes. Now here's the guy who puts the fun into Funhouse, Pat Shaw!
And here's the Funhouse!
Oh, yes, indeed. It's a quiz, it's a race, it's a real wacky place. It's Pun House. It's our version. The original version took part inside a huge indoor playhouse with obstacles, big, ridiculous challenges full of slime and gunge. In keeping with the original show, we've got another challenge for you. So, in this challenge, we ask that you find an item from within your own home and you throw it up in the air and catch it behind your back 3 times in a row. Now, there's a kicker. First of all, none of this juggling behind the back business. It's got to be up over the shoulder, over the head. Catch it behind your back. And the other kicker is this. You need to do it with your hands covered in slimy washing up liquid because that represents the gunge. And it also means it takes a little bit longer, makes it a little bit more difficult. So there we go. You can have 2 minutes for this. 2 minutes to get this challenge completed. Anyone can give it a go, same as before. Best of luck. Now, we will be checking the videos, so if you don't complete the challenge, no need to upload anything, because you won't get the points, we'll just delete it. So there you go. Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes, your time starts now. Okay, so get those videos uploaded, ladies and gentlemen. While you're doing that, we've got another round from you. Now, people who do remember Pun House will remember that. Oh, you've already made your bets. So you will remember the Fun Kart Grand Prix race. Teams would go head to head on a wacky go-karting track, collecting tokens along the way. Now, we've ordered our own version from the USA. You can't get this in the UK. It's a 6-lane Hot Wheels drag race. So get ready for some more puns. 6 cars to choose from. Best of luck. I can hear them revving at the starting line already. So get ready to place those bets as we have a go on our own version of the Fun Kart Grand Prix race.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Get on home, get on home.
Pick a lane, ladies and gentlemen. 6 to choose from. Here we go. That's genuinely one of the Hot Wheels cars. That's Maximus Diesel in lane 1. In lane 2, we've got Avocado. Lane 3 is Cardinal Sin. Lane 4, it's Too Fast, Too Furious. In lane 5, it's Carnivorous. And in lane 6, Caribbean. So there we are. I can hear them revving up now. smoke coming out from under the wheels. There we go! Winner, lane 4! Winner, lane 4! And I hate to announce this, beating the jury. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Well done to the winners for getting that one correct. Getting yourself 3 points. Unbelievable. With that, we're heading back to the studio. I mean, I don't know what to say. This is outrageous. So, Too Fast, Too Furious is often the winner. But sometimes he gets stuck on the starting line. We speculate that his engine is so massive that sometimes he over-revs it, and the torque means that he gets stuck. And then Avocado, Cardinal Singer, or Maximus Diesel sometimes win. But I would say for Too Fast, Too Furious has got pretty much a 60% winning ratio, I would have thought. So, I don't know. The winners, again, doing very, very well, getting 3 points there for themselves. Both teams completing the challenges. Absolutely great stuff. Now, we're sticking around in the 90s for one more game show round. And as I mentioned, the 90s is a really interesting era. We had a bit of a dip in the economy in the mid-90s. And all of these new types of game shows started coming onto our television screens. They were called lifestyle game shows. They were very low budget and very low risk. Some examples were Ready, Steady, Cook. Another one was Mastermind when it first launched. It was a much lower budget production than it is today. And we also had things like Bargain Hunt. That was another one. And it meant that a lot of viewers started turning over to things like Sky Television. The Simpsons and the X-Files were drawing in some very large ratings. And the terrestrial stations decided that they needed to take a bold step in order to recaptivate the British audience. Now, anyone who's seen the documentary will know that they took a massive risk on this. They had no idea that it was going to work. And after the first evening, it was £1 to call in to try and get on the show. After the first evening, the phone lines lit up and they made all of their money back. And this was the bold step that they took.
Tonight and for the next 10 nights, you'll be watching British quiz show history. For the first time on UK TV, we have a top prize available of £1 million, and it could be won here tonight. No tricks, no traps. Join us now for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to You Want to Be a Millionaire? You are now 5 questions away from earning your team of a total of 15 whole points. Unlike the game show, if you get a question wrong, you can continue. And remember, there are no lifelines. The questions range from the easiest to the hardest, and the harder the questions are, the more points they are worth. So get ready as we play a round of You Want to Be a Millionaire? Question number 1, which is of course for 1 point. Which tool was used as a weapon by the Norse god Thor? A. Pliers, B. A hammer, C. A screwdriver, or D. A saw? Question number 2, which is for 2 points. What is the name of the classic dessert consisting of sponge cake and ice cream covered in meringue? Is it A. Baked Rhode Island, B. Baked Wyoming, C. Baked Connecticut, or D. Baked Alaska. And then question number 3, which is going to be for 3 points. Which of these is a religious event celebrated in Hinduism? A. Diwali, B. Ramadan, C. Hanukkah, or D. Whitsun? Question number 4 for 4 points. Which toxic substance is obtained from the pressed seeds of the castor oil plant? Is it A. Sarin, B. Strychnine, C. Ricin, or D. Cyanide? And finally, genuinely a £1 million question. In the history of motorsport, which of these iconic races was held first? A. Le Mans 24 Hours, B. Monaco Grand Prix, C. Indy 500, or D. Isle of Man TT? There we are. The winners. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's some cheating going on here. We've never had anything like it. You've got 5 out of 5. Well, you get a round of applause for that. I'm being too much of a pessimist. You're probably all sat there going, "We're just brilliant." I got it wrong. It's 76 as the top score for the year. You're 5 points away, and we've got 3 rounds to go. So I think you might make it. We will have to see. The next few rounds are difficult. So there we go. Both teams getting 5 out of 5 there. So we're just going to bring the answers up very quickly to confirm. Not that you really need them. The answer to question number 1, which the weapon used by the Norse god Thor, that was, of course, a hammer. Baked Alaska is the dessert consisting of sponge cake and ice cream covered in meringue. Diwali is the festival of light celebrated in Hinduism. Ricin comes from the pressed seeds of the castor oil plant, and the Isle of Man TT was the first of those events, motorsport events, to be broadcast first. So what I would say is you would all be millionaires. That was genuinely a £1 million question. So very well done. I'm afraid with us you only get 15 points, but very well done to both teams doing that there. We're moving on to the noughties now. Now, the end of the 90s was a bit of a mixed bag. I don't know if anyone remembers Man Oh Man. We're playing that on we're doing a new game show for February, which is takes people through the dating history. You don't need to be dating anyone. It just takes people through the dating history of game shows. And we're doing Man Oh Man. We call it Mano Oh Mano. And it saw people do like peck dances, and ladies in the audience would be like, ooh, if they liked it. And if they didn't like it, they would boo the men, and then they get pushed into a pool of water. It was absolutely outrageous. And then Keith Chegwin actually took people into the jungle to celebrate nudism, and they did a game show called Naked Jungle, genuinely naked, and it was broadcast on normal television, and they did things like obstacle courses. What an era the 90s were. But anyway, now we're on to the noughties. It was the dawn of real-time reality television. Big Brother was the first hit show in the UK, and it wasn't long until competition-based shows would pop up. For example, Pop Idol was one of those. Winner was Will Young, and then game shows were struggling to stay on air. Some of the game shows that did manage to stay on air were things like Fear Factor. They were pushing themselves to their extremes. That had the very famous Joe Rogan as a presenter. Things like SAS Are You Tough Enough and Shattered, which basically kept people awake for like a period of time and then got them to do stuff. But even with game shows pushing themselves to their extremes, they didn't stay on air long. They were replaced by alternatives with a reality element. Things like Britain's Got Talent, X Factor, Strictly Come Dancing. That was, of course, until game show god Noel Edmonds returned to the scene. 3 points up for grabs. 2 identically sealed boxes, and no question except for one. Deal or no deal? Oh God, I'm on mute. I'm on mute. You didn't hear any of that. I'm so sorry. I was saying that this is a brand new Noel Edmonds goatee. You guys got to see the new version. The other ones made it through about 60 game shows and then fell apart. So we'll see how we get on. I was choking on the new bits. Right. Welcome to Banker's Deal. 3 points up for grabs. 2 identically sealed boxes. So in this game show round, you need to decide if you want to swap or no swap. If you decide to swap, you're going to be picking the box that's above my head there. That's your swap box. Your no swap box is this one here. So this is your no swap box. So there we go. Pretty simple stuff. So make your decisions when you're ready. We're going to give you about 30 seconds. Your time. Ooh. I wonder who that could be. Hello. It's the banker. Yes, Mr. Banker. How are we doing? Yeah, I know. I'm struggling to get the phone to sit anywhere. We've got a new studio and it doesn't like the positioning. So look, I do think they're going to get top score for the season. Well, it's for ever, not even for the season, ever. And yes, the beard is already starting to fall off my face. So give us an offer quick, Mr. Banker, before I make a fool of myself. Well, I think if you ask me, that's a bit. Well, all right. Well, I'll let them know. I'm afraid the banker has made you a bit of a dreary offer of 0 points. You won't gain any points, but you won't lose any points. So really, it's the safe option. So now you've got the option to swap, no swap, or take the banker's deal. You've got 30 seconds. Your time starts now. Okay, so the winners. Oh, I mean, fair enough. I hate to tell you, beating the jury. Well, I say that it's not as bad as it could have been. They went for a banker's deal. They've played it safe. They're going for that top score. But I'll tell you what, the winners, that might be the downfall. Because as you'll see, the other rounds are tough. That might have been where you got your points. So we'll see how it pans out. Beating the Jurian have gone for no swap. So let's see if you can, if you may have beaten the banker. Let's see if you could have had more than was on offer. So this is primarily for beating the Jurian. Here we go. Yes, beating the Jurian. Finally a bit of luck has gone your way. you've just earned yourself 3 points. And just to make sure that there's no funny business, we're going to reveal the no swap box. There we go. -3. -3. So, that would have given you a bit of a boost there, beating the jury. And I'll tell you what, you're both doing very well. So you could still put it back. Now, the winners are on 71. Beating the Jurian are on 57. Now, that can be caught just about in these final few rounds. So, we're in the 2010s now. And let's face it, it's been a bit of a mixed bag. Or I can lose this as well. I've got to put it somewhere so I can use it again. Oh, it's already broken. Look at that. Oh, dear. You can see how I get through them. That's terrible. I might put it in an Amazon return just as it is and send it back. Be like, not fit for purpose. Full refund. Right. 2010s has been a bit of a mixed bag. And there are lots of ways of viewing content now. At the beginning of the 2010s, most people had at least Freeview, Cable and Sky were very credible. So the majority of people had over 100 channels to choose from. Things like YouTube were becoming more credible, and it meant that the idea of a primetime slot started to go out the window. So broadcasting stations decided to move regular game shows to a new time slot of 5 p.m. One game show of notoriety was The Chase. We do have a version of that on our Christmas game show, but we don't have a version on this one. So we're going to be playing their direct competitor over on the BBC, which was this game show. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Scoreless, where the aim of the game is to find the obscure answers and avoid the obvious ones. We are looking for just one scoreless answer per round. At the end of the second round, we will reveal what the answers are. A scoreless answer is an answer that nobody else in our survey gave us. So you're looking for an obscure answer that nobody else gave. So here we go. Now the first round is particularly tricky. Let's have a look at our first round of Scoreless. We gave a survey on social media to our followers and we asked them to name any Beatles top 40 singles with 3-word titles. Now there aren't many that they didn't get. There aren't many, so this is a particularly tough round. You are looking for a scoreless answer, an answer that nobody else gave us. You have 1 minute to write out a scoreless answer. We only want one. Please don't write more than one. You won't get any points. Your time starts now. There we go. No need to submit anything yet, as we're going to play one more round of Scoreless. The winners have already answered, but you do have another minute if you want to go back and change anything. We gave a survey to 100 people, and they asked them to give us any national flags that contain the colour green. Remember, you're looking for a scoreless answer, an answer that nobody else gave, and your time starts now. Okay, well done. Both teams have already submitted, and I'll tell you what, you both gave the same answer for the national flag, believe it or not. So we're not going to reveal if either team got a scoreless answer, but we are going to reveal the answers for you, so you'll know if you got one. Now, the singles by the Beatles were Ain't She Sweet and Baby It's You. Ain't She Sweet was released on their first album, Please Please Me, which is not a scoreless answer, but is the answer that I would have given. Ain't She Sweet was the highest charting single with their original drummer, Pete Best. It's before Ringo joined. And then Baby It's You was a part of their touring act from 61 to 63. Oh no, sorry, that was the one that was on the first album, Please Please Me. Ain't She Sweet was on one of their EPs before their first album. So, for the flags, you could have had Sudan, Oman, Gambia and Zambia, and you also could have had Azerbaijan, Bolivia, Central African Republic, Jordan, Maldives and Zimbabwe. So very well done to anyone who got those playing along at home. We're going on to our final game show of the evening. Like I mentioned, the 2010s have been a pretty mixed bag. Now, in the modern day, although I guess we've got to do one for the 2020s now. God knows what they'll look like. But in the modern day, we've got things like live broadcasting. We've got Twitch. We've got Facebook Live. We've got Instagram Live. We've got YouTube broadcasting now, which is where you all are today. We've got Netflix. We've got Amazon Prime. We've got Disney Plus. The idea of primetime TV really is something of the past. That being said, TV stations do still call it a primetime slot, and one game show has made it onto that time in both the UK and the USA. It's also been largely popularised through YouTube, with lots of people making their own versions at home. So here we go. Come and join us for our last game show of the evening.
10 games, each 60 seconds. Playing with household items can make you $1 million.
Now, it's Minute to Win It.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
So here we go. Welcome to 2 Minutes to Win It. In order to get the points, you need to upload the video before the end of the 2 minutes has finished. So we will be checking. Please only submit answers if you manage to complete the challenge. We're going to show you now a blueprint for the game.
Face the biscuit. The human face composes of lots of muscles, with the main ones helping to make a smile or frown. In this challenge, you must move a biscuit from the forehead to the mouth, using only the muscles in your face. If the biscuit drops, you must take another and start again.
So there we go. Now, we don't expect you to have a biscuit, so you can use anything similar. Once somebody used a tea bag, that was quite effective actually. So a tea bag is one option. Maybe you could use a slice of carrot or a bit of rice cake. It's up to you. Anything that's sanitary and safe, feel free to use it. We're not going to be super strict, just as long as it's not too easy and it starts here and only, you've got to be able to sort of wiggle it down your face like that. Now you're going to have 2 minutes, same as before. Anyone can give this a go, or you can just film the Zoom chat. Your time starts when the timer tells you. I do a bit of live music over the top of this one. Enjoy. Best of luck, and then we'll be doing the scores at the end. So here we go.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, guys. Okay, get them submitted. Get them submitted. It's all going to be on Zoom now. You can close YouTube. Close YouTube. We'll see you on Zoom. We're just going to do a quick finalisation of the scores. Check that there's no funny business. And then we'll be revealing how everybody got on. Thank you so much for embracing what we're going for here. We're going to do a short intermission and we'll see you in a few.
Waiting for it to upload, is
like biscuit crumbs now, or just like I don't normally have them on my forehead, like tops, all right, but not normally on my forehead.
It sticks there.
We can't upload this video fast enough.
Martin went, I'm not sure I'm going to have time to edit mine.
I'm looking forward to seeing it if they show it.
I can't. I'm having trouble finding it now.
I'm amazed we all submitted the same answer on the flag one because we thought we'd been really original, but clearly not.
I think ours is correct because Eritrea's got green in it.
We did Eritrea. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that's correct. Thank you, Sean.
Because my missus is from Eritrea.
It's not. It's not a scoreless answer, guys. Quite a few people on our survey gave us Eritrea.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool. We should have gone with Azerbaijan. That was.
But Vanuatu, we thought that, again, another one that a lot of people go for, but is not a pointless answer. A scoreless answer. I can't say pointless. Scoreless answer. Scoreless answer.
Great, my video's finally uploaded.
Biscuit one.
Yeah.
I think you did it better than me. Mine sort of vaguely fell off and then I snaffled
When
it.
you were watching me, I've not got a clue what it looks like.
My daughter for mine in slow-mo. Honestly,
Well, that's a good idea.
It's not very attractive.
No.
I definitely think you should do that for homeschooling tomorrow, Sarah.
Yeah, definitely. Submit the homework.
Yeah. My puppies finally fell asleep and stopped attacking me and everything else in the house, which is helpful.
What was she called? He called Pika.
Pika, like Pikachu.
Oh.
My kids are Pokemon mad, so they saying the name.
Okay, guys, I think we've got pretty much everyone. So the scores are in. I just want to check, did Durian team beating the Durian, did you do a video? Oh, you did. It's just come through. It's just come through. So, right, here we go. Time to jump into the scores in that case.
It's probably not worth watching that video.
It's not.
We're in there. Stop loading.